Jennibellie, welcome back to my channel. Today is the first video in a new series I'm going to be doing on desk scraps, which is a way I've been journaling lately to get the art in without having to clean my desk. Alright my loves, let's get started. I'm going to start this page with my favourite scrap supply of the moment, which I shared with you how to make in last week's video. So I will stick a link in the description or in the cards or somewhere to that video, but it's super simple and it's my favourite collage material of the moment. And I'm just going to use this decoupage medium wet glue to stick it down, and when I do that I do tend to use a credit card just to smooth it down to make sure there's no air bubbles. And next I picked up off of the desk this Prismacolor in Black Grape, which is a really nice purpley type colour, though I don't think you're going to be able to see it so much until I begin using it again a bit later and building the layers up. I'm not doing anything particular with this. I do not have any thing in mind for this. It's just organically growing this page, and the thing that I really have planned and the reason why I'm showing you the desk scraps episodes where I literally just use whatever is on the desk or what I can see around the desk. It's just whatever you have immediate access to, you use. The reason why is because, oh, here is literally a piece of washi tape that stuck to me when I was picking up the palette knife, and so it went on the page, and then it gave me the idea to use the other bits of scrap washi tape that I have on the desk, because I tend to put them either, you can see me literally peeling a piece up off of the desk here. It's literal desk scraps, guys. That's literally the perfect name for it. So I'm sticking those on. Oh, and this is a canvas that I've just been messing around with the background, so that was still wet, so I just took some of the paint off of it and stuck it on with a palette knife. I'm trying to check there if there's any paint left in that pot. There wasn't, so I'm putting some out. It's really that organic. I'm just using literally stuff that's on the desk, or even the desk itself, whatever's stuck to the desk. And I'm quite lucky with this particular page, as you'll see, that the colours really develop really well together. It wasn't intentional. It was just what came out, but it did work really well. All the colours together are purples and pinks and light pinks and darker pinks and darker purples, and it really goes quite well. So my whole purpose for this series for you guys is to share freedom, to inspire you to be really free in your art journaling, to not have a particular image in mind, to not have a particular process in how you do it. I do have somewhat of a process. If you are part of the Raw Intuitive Journaling class, then you may understand this way of creating a little bit more. This is how I do a lot at the minute. If you want to take that class, you can take it on journalworkshops.ning.com, which is where all my classes are hosted. But if you're in that class, you know the process that I'm going through because it's what's taught in that class, and you know the holy mecca question that I keep asking myself as this page is developing. So I guess you guys in that class are getting a little bit of an inside scoop on what I am doing. That class is on Journal Workshops with my other classes. I'm just going back in with that purple pencil, and I will continue to go back in with the same materials over and over in this page, so that it isn't here's a layer of paint and here's a layer of collage and here's a layer of pencil, la 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 la. It's all merged together.
And the spider's legs danced. It rolled over and over. Lavender Brown squealed and ran out of his way.
Did that go?
Came to a halt at Harry's feet. He raised his wand ready, but here,
not on the camera. I really thought that had gone everywhere. I was quite lucky that had just gone. Mind you, it might have gone somewhere else that I haven't noticed yet. I may find some titanium buff coloured paint somewhere one day, which is the colour that I'm using here, with my favourite tool, or one of my favourite tools for creating organic looking pages, and that's my fingers. Your fingers are wonderful tools and they blend paint in a way that other tools don't. So I'm creating marks on here that's got blatant obvious brush strokes and blatant palette knife strokes and blatant fingerprint marks and blatant pencil lines, and I'm really liking the look of the marks, but they are still seamless together, if that makes sense. They're bold, yet they're all somehow working within this organic shape that I've created, if that makes sense. And at one point here I think I finished with the paper and the washi tape that I'm using now, which again is just on the desk already. Somehow it worked well with the colours, but as you can see on the left, there's still a piece of paper that I think isn't there, or I've finished using the collage papers and close up the decoupage part, and then I realise it's there, and then open it back up again and do it, because it's just whatever's there. Don't waste whatever's there. This is after about 10 minutes of using whatever is on my desk, and as you can see, quite a few things, so lots to choose from, which I think is maybe why the colours worked, is because I had a few things to choose from, but it wasn't a conscious choice. I don't particularly think. Well, I know it wasn't because I was there, but it was an experiment and it worked pretty well, let's put it like that. This colour combination of purples and pinks and light pinks and greys, I really like the look of it in the end. So going back in with a palette knife, I may later go back in with a brush, I may later go back in with my fingers, and just merging the layers so that, again, it's sometimes there's paint beneath and sometimes there's paint on top. You're gonna get some, is it ASMR now? It's me just using my leftover paint on the canvas, but the noise and the scraping is somehow satisfactory, so I left it in. So now I'm going in with my water-soluble pencil, which is from Derwent, and I'm going in with it dry and then activating it with a paintbrush with some water afterwards, but you can also just dip it directly into water and put it on the page if you want a more intense look. I'd kind of do both in this. I go backwards and forwards. Also, if you put the pencil back away you've just wet, as I am about to, you'll see it gets more intense then as well. But you don't have to activate all of it. I'm putting it down, but I'm not going to necessarily go over every single piece of the pencil that I've used and make sure it's, you know, where. I may just leave it as a pencil. So I'm going to now, I'm just going to make some more marks and just let it be. That's good enough. Using that paintbrush now just to go in with some white paint between the collage and the paint layers, and using my fingers to kind of smooth that out and blend so it isn't so stark between, you know, the collage and the paint. There's a bit of highlighting, I suppose, in one way, but also a merging. And here's me just going in with my fingers to give less opaque layers to the white. Now I'm just going to do some journaling with a pencil, and this is my favourite way to journal on art journal pages when you don't want the writing to be seen, is you just go over and over the same bits and make it kind of scrolly so that it looks a little bit graffiti like. That's the impression that I get from the pages. Once I finish them and use this technique, it reminds me a little bit of graffiti. Maybe because I do the squiggles, I don't know. But it's a good way to do your journaling in private and also add some additional interest and layering. and again with the fingers and the paint to set them back a little bit so they aren't the forefront layer. I think that's what I'm trying to do with this page, is not give a layer that's the thing at the forefront necessarily. It's all got defined marks. There's all these different mark making things, but they are underneath and on top of each other and merging together in this really sinuous kind of shape. So this is why I'm sharing this series, is because I find it really, really freeing to create this way, and that's the inspiration I want to pass on to you, and so that you know that it isn't about the outcome of the page in this process. It's literally about letting the page evolve as it wants to, just using the supplies and the media that is around you without dictating to the page what it needs to be or what tools need to be used on it, etc., and just explore your own creativity in that way. And that's it. This page literally took me 15 minutes, so no excuses, no listening to the inner critic, all the other BS stuff, like you have to clean your art desk first. You don't, just pile it up, put it on top of something that's already piled on top of something. You don't need space, what's that? I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. I shall see you next week with a completely different video. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do lots of different art journaling series, lots of different random videos for you. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notifications bell. Super important if you're already subscribed, or you will not know when I post new videos. And comment and like and all of that good stuff. Much love everybody, have an awesome week. See you next week. Bye.